I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all
offence.
recorded, officer.
That's fine. Please,
She's
officer.
lied to you. Now you've threatened me with arrest, which has now made me have to give my details. So I will have to make a call to my solicitor.
When a sergeant decides the situation needs force, not facts. She claims he's sworn at her, something the footage doesn't support, and instead of dealing with him directly, she brings in other officers to act on that allegation. From that moment, the threat of arrest is used to extract his details, not to address any real offence. This becomes policing by allegation, not evidence, and it only runs one way. It doesn't end with officers proving a point, it ends with News Now Yorkshire taking them to court, because when a sergeant sets the tone with a false claim, the fallout is inevitable.
Is it for any particular purpose? Is it a hobby? Is it a research project? Anything like that?
I don't know yet at the minute.
Okay.
Just sort of flying around, see what happens.
Right. I understand that officers just tried to have a word with you on the way into the car park.
She sort of shouted at me in a plain clothes personal car, so I didn't have a clue who she was.
Apparently you've told her to pee off.
Did I?
That's what she said to us. If that's the case, that's not acceptable, is it?
Well, that's why we wear independent witnesses that never lie.
Right. What do you mean by that? Right, okay. Well, yeah, I've got mine on as well, so...
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Can I take your details, just so we know what you're doing, and you're recorded on our systems, and we've got the fact what you're doing, and to make sure you're not to no good?
No, I'd rather not, if that's okay.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, I just need to make sure that you're not, like, sort of in line with any terrorist groups or anything like that you could be using for hostile reconnaissance or anything of that nature.
Do you suspect I'm a terrorist officer?
Well, I don't know until I speak to you. Do I? Until I take your details and check you through.
Is that what you do with everybody?
If you're being verbally abusive to people, then you have technically committed a public order offence, for which I would require your details.
Okay.
They approach him already working from a fixed narrative that he swore at the sergeant, and they treat it as if it is proven from the outset. News Now Yorkshire does not get drawn into a back and forth, and instead cuts straight through the claim by pointing to his body-worn camera and highlighting the purpose of independent recording. That moment matters because it immediately exposes the imbalance. One side relies on an allegation while the other has actual footage. Then the situation escalates into something far more serious. When he refuses to provide his details, the justification suddenly shifts to checking possible links to terrorist groups. That is not a genuine reason, it is a pressure tactic designed to force compliance and steer the encounter without a solid legal foundation.
So that's why I'm asking you for them as well.
Right.
So could I have your name and date of birth and address, please?
What, you think I've committed a public order offence?
Yeah, because an officer's just told me that you've sworn at her in the street.
Well, I need to get her to make that statement then, because she's lying.
Well, she's just told me as she's driven in that you've sworn at her.
Did she?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll be making a complaint about her then.
That's absolutely
And if you
fine.
take my details, I will have to sue West Yorkshire Police.
That's not a problem. You feel free to do so. The reason I've explained the reasons why I'm asking you for your details.
What happens if I don't give my details?
Then you're potentially committing an offence.
Well, I will.
It's a lot easier if you do, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to give my details.
Okay.
I will if you tell me that I'll be arrested if I don't.
Well, potentially you may be. Yeah, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, because your name and address can't be verified.
Right.
And I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence.
What reasonable grounds is that?
But I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all
offence.
recorded, officer.
That's fine.
Do you want me to show you the recording?
Not at the moment, but I want.
Because I could show you the recording.
I want you to.
And then you would know.
Details, and I've explained it to you. You've asked me to explain it to you, and I've laid it out plain and simple.
This is the point where the reasoning breaks down completely. They claim a public order offence has occurred not because of any clear conduct, but simply because a sergeant says it did. When News Now Yorkshire asks what happens if he refuses to provide his details, the response becomes circular, suggesting that refusal could lead to another offence, which could then justify arrest. That is not law, it is recycled threat invoking Section 24 of PACE only. Highlights the weakness. Further arrest necessity cannot be based on rank or convenience, it must be supported by real evidence. In this situation, the only foundation is a colleague's statement. Even though video footage is offered that could resolve everything immediately, they choose not to review it, and that decision is significant. When officers ignore evidence that could clarify the truth, it reveals intent and shows that the direction of the encounter was set before the facts.
I don't think I have to give my details, officer.
You do.
I do.
You've been verbally abusive towards somebody.
I haven't though.
She's alleging that you have.
I haven't
As I said before, I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed a public order offence.
But I haven't.
Okay, listen to me. Because of that nature, that's why I require your details. And as I've explained to you, if you don't give me your name and address, and can't verify who you are, it may make your arrest necessary in order to ascertain those details.
Will you arrest me if I don't?
I'm not saying I definitely will, but I'm saying it may make your arrest necessary.
Am I being detained right now?
At the moment, because I need your details.
Yeah, I'm being detained.
Potentially, if you don't give me your details, you may be arrested, is what I'm saying.
No, I just want to check if I'm being detained right now.
I understand why you can't just give me your details.
I'd rather not. That's the point.
But I'm asking you to.
If I have to by law, then I will.
You do have to by law, yeah.
Okay, and what section of law says I have to?
I'm telling you that because you committed committed an offence.
I haven't though.
I suspect that you have.
You suspect that I have?
I suspect that you have.
Okay.
I only need reasonable grounds to suspect. That's 2 to 3 out of 10 on the scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I've got that reasonable suspicion.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Can you let me know that lady's name or collar number?
She's a sergeant who was off duty at the time, coming into work for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Because
she's a police
she's
officer.
lied to you. Now you threatened me with arrest, which has now made me have to give my details. So I will have to make a call to my solicitor.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Okay.
You go right ahead.
This is the stage where the entire line of reasoning falls apart completely. They assert that a public order offense has taken place not because of any clear behavior, but purely based on a sergeant's statement. When News Now Yorkshire asks what happens if he declines to provide his details, the reply becomes circular, suggesting that refusal itself could lead to another offense, which could then be used to justify arrest. That is not lawful reasoning, it is a loop of pressure invoking Section 20. 4 of pace only makes the weakness more visible. Arrest necessity cannot rely on rank or convenience. It must be grounded in solid evidence. In this case, the only basis is a colleague claim. Even though video footage is offered that could settle the matter immediately, they choose not to examine it. And that choice is important. When officers avoid evidence that could resolve the situation, it points to intent and shows that the outcome was decided before the facts were properly considered.
I can't believe she lied to you, officer. I have got it all recorded though, just so you know.
You could, if you want to make a complaint.
Yeah, I will be making a complaint straight away. Yeah,
that's
definitely,
not a problem.
definitely.
I haven't got
Is that
any
what she
issue with
actually said to you? I told her to pee off.
As I drove out of the gate, she was driving in and she said, "Will I have a word with you?"
Yeah.
Because she'd spoken to you and you told her to. I'm not going to say the full word. But pee off. You understand what I mean by that?
I understand what you're saying, but she's lying to you. You know that, don't you?
Well, if she's lying to me, she's lying to me. If it's on your camera, then you've got grounds for a complaint.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I'm not lying to you. I can only go about.
You know, last time this happened, I got £1,000 for it. You know.
Right.
Yeah. That was at Humberside though.
What was that? What was that in relation to though?
Because someone said I was committing antisocial behaviour, so the officer unlawfully used Section 50 of the Police Reform Act to gain my details, just like you've unlawfully used Section 5 to get my details.
Okay.
And then they offered me £1,000 for my trouble.
I haven't used Section 5.
Oh, what did you use?
You've potentially committed an offence under Section 4A of the Public Order Act.
Oh, okay. Section 4A.
Yeah.
And that requires me to give my details.
It doesn't require you to give your details.
You just told me it did.
What I'm saying, no, you're twisting my word.
The officer keeps leaning on the word potentially, and that single word is carrying the entire argument. Potentially, an offence potentially Section 4A, because there's nothing concrete to support it. Section 4A is not triggered by the idea that someone might have caused offence at some point. It requires clear intent and a real effect, not guesswork. What makes the situation worse is how the legal section keeps shifting. One moment it is one power, then it changes to another, and then something different again. This is not careful reasoning, it is scrambling to find something that fits. If a genuine offense had been identified, the legal basis would remain consistent and clearly defined. None of the powers being mentioned suddenly create a right to demand his personal details, and that gap remains obvious throughout the interaction.
What I'm saying to you is, because I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence, if you don't give me your details, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of PACE, because your name and address cannot be verified, and I suspect that you've committed an offence.
Well, that's a full explanation. Thank you for that.
That's what I said to you the first time.
Well, I didn't get that explanation, so maybe you didn't explain it properly, and maybe I didn't understand.
Well, you understand it now, though.
I do, 100%. Yeah, yes. I can't believe she lied to you, and she's a sergeant. She's going around lying to you guys. Do you want me to show you the video?
No.
Is it because you know that she's lying?
I don't know that she's lying.
I think you know. Okay. I think you know. I think you do know.
We're literally just going off what we've been told.
Yeah, what you've been told is a lie, though, is what I'm saying. I could show you the video now and show you that she's lying. What do you guys reckon? Your personal opinion?
My personal opinion doesn't matter. I don't work. My personal opinion has to stay at home when I come to work.
Well, use your detective skills then. What do you think?
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Speaking to you.
Well, yeah, I could have showed you the video.
To find out your version of events.
No, what you're doing is getting my details unlawfully.
Okay. I'm not. I've already explained to you the reason why.
I could have showed you the video, and then you would have no reason to get my details.
If you're happy to show me the video, I'm happy to watch it. It's not a problem.
Well, there's no point now because you've already given my details.
This is the moment where any sense of fairness disappears completely. He keeps offering the simplest solution, which is to review the footage and settle the issue. Yet they refuse. One officer even admits she is relying only on what she has been told, which is not a real assessment, but blind acceptance. His explanation is not tested against evidence. It is dismissed. They choose hearsay over footage that is available in real time, protecting a version of events they do not want challenged. Then only after they have taken his details, the video suddenly becomes important. That timing reveals everything. If the footage truly mattered, it would have been checked at the start. Watching it at the end is not investigation, it is damage control used to justify actions that were already taken.
I might as well speak to my solicitor now and get my £1,000.
You've offered to show me the video, then that's fine.
Yeah, you see that your sergeant's a liar.
Well, show me it if you want to show me it. I'm not bothered.
Am I being detained?
No, you're free to go. Thank you for giving me your details. Just be careful where you're flying it.
No, I won't.
Obviously, bear in mind that side of the gate and the fence is private property.
Oh no, I've already been over there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go over again.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But bear in mind that you may be spoken to again by an officer if it's deemed that your drone's interfering with any police activities or anything like that.
All right, well, I've got permission to be here.
From
the Civil Aviation Authority.
Okay, have you got that in writing? Have you got anything on you can show me to confirm that?
Do I need to?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you, am I?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you that your sergeant's a liar.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to get drawn into this back and forth with you.
You've already been drawn into it.
I've spoken to you. I've ascertained what you're doing. As long as you're not interfering
what happened to the Section 4A?
That's fine. I'm not going to take any further action against it.
No further action?
Yeah.
Why? Because you know that she's a liar?
I'm going to give you words of advice.
No, I don't want your words of advice.
Well, I'm going to offer you
can
them.
stick your words of advice.
Right, I'm going to offer you them anyway.
No, I don't want them.
This is the point where any appearance of fairness completely falls away. He continues to offer the most direct solution, which is to check the footage and resolve the situation. Yet they refuse to engage with it. One officer even admits she is acting only on what she has been told, which is not proper evaluation but blind reliance on a single version of events' account. Moment preserving a narrative they do not want questioned, then only after they have secured his details the footage suddenly becomes relevant. That sequence says everything. If the video truly mattered, it would have been reviewed at the beginning. Leaving it until the end is not investigation, it is damage control aimed at supporting decisions that were already made.
Why you speak to people in future?
But I didn't speak to anybody